The Minnesota Vikings open up at 6.5 this season. They finished 7-10 last year. Man, the Vikings, they just have this like cloud of bad luck around them all the time. I feel like
that's the Vikings.
All the time.
Something always goes wrong.
Every time. In the biggest moments, too. It's never just like small little things.
Vikings fans will tell you this has been happening for 40, 50 years. Like it's kind of a thing. Like, you know how we talk about the Jets? That's kind of the Vikings, but a little bit smaller.
I take that back. This time it was a small little thing called a right meniscus. But other than that, it's usually big things that go wrong. J.J. McCarthy, man, like he's out for the season. Whether you thought he was going to start or not, I thought he was going to at least play this season for the majority of the year.
He was not going to start, and despite them saying it's Darnold, I think McCarthy would have took over at some point. I was actually really high on McCarthy. I think this stings really bad.
Oh, yeah. You talking about losing like your starting quarterback? Yeah.
They say it's not. They were going with Darnold, but I think I would have rather seen McCarthy.
Mono man? They're going to go with Mono man. Okay.
Man.
Whatever. Yeah, so they go with him for the first 3 games. They were going to switch to McCarthy at some point. That'd be stupid not to. But then again, it's the Vikings. Who knows? They also added my boy Dallas Turner from Alabama. I think that's going to be a big improvement.
Great pick.
To this team. So I have them. I had them going. My notes right here in front of me say over. But the more I think about it, the more I look at the rest of this division, and I have the Bears going under. What right do I have saying that the Vikings are going to go over here? Like
over 7 wins. Do you think they matched last year?
Well, they had Kirk Cousins last year, and
but he got hurt. They only had him for like a quarter, half the season.
Yeah, somewhere around there. So, but Sam Darnold, I have no trust in him. I'm changing my answer. You know what? Let me just mark this out real quick. I'm going under. It's my second team in the NFC North that I have going under. I don't think they win 7 games, man. How do they do it is the better question, I think.
I kind of sad you changed it because now we agree on every team in this division.
But we know football so well.
Oh, I mean, we are geniuses. So I agree, under. Kevin O'Connell's one of my favorite coaches. I love him.
Yeah.
I think he is a fantastic offensive wizard. I think he's a great head coach. I know Justin Jefferson's probably going to get his numbers. I understand that. I've just got to call timeout on everybody that talks sports right now. Have you seen the amount of people in sports media that are genuinely trying to convince themselves that Sam Darnold's going to be decent? Have you seen it?
No, because every time I start to see it, I turn the TV off.
But a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people like, hey, Sam Darnold might be okay. It's like, oh, he went to the 49ers last year. Shanahan liked him. I'm like, okay. And the little bit we saw him at San Francisco last year didn't look good. I don't know why people are trying to trick themselves. You think Sam Darnold's magically going to flip a switch? I know maybe he hasn't gotten a really fair opportunity. The Carolina thing wasn't fair. Obviously, in New York, when Adam Gase wasn't fair. All right, but I think the ship has sailed. You don't see people do a Geno Smith, magically turn their career around. Do you think Deshaun Watson's going to flip a switch and be good? Apparently Cleveland fans do, but they're fucking delusional, okay? I'm sorry, they're just lost. There is no chance, man. Best case scenario, Sam Darnold is a slightly below average quarterback. That's best case scenario. I think this is going to end up being a long season for Minnesota, and it sucks because I actually like the Vikings. I like the head coach. They've got a lot of players. I love that they brought in Aaron Jones. But on a lot of other positions, not fantastic. I'm not excited about the defense, even though you bring in Dallas Turner. At the end of the day, I feel like the ship sinks or sails with Sam Darnold, and I'm saying it's sinking.
I think his numbers are going to be inflated a little bit just because he does have he has really talented wide receivers around him. Addison and Jefferson are two of that's a really great duo to have when you're a below average quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Sam Darnold, looking at his stats, again, he's never had a great situation. I understand. I know a lot of quarterbacks haven't. Sadly, your success in the league is kind of dependent on your situation. He came into the league in 2018. So this is going to be his 7th year in the NFL.
Wow, has it been that long?
I know, it's crazy. Magically, your 7th year in the NFL, you're going to be an above-average starter. Guys,
tell me who's that happened to.
Right, Geno Smith is the only one I can even think of. Okay,
yeah.
That's it. I don't see a scenario. Look, his career completion percentage is 59.7. The best completion percentage of his career was his second year with the Jets, where it was 61.9.
And when I say all this, don't think I'm trying to talk Sam Darnold up, okay? I'm just telling you what the future storylines are going to be. Hey, we were right. We were right. Did you see what Sam Darnold did? He threw the ball to Justin Jefferson 88 times, and Jefferson caught them 87 times. Well, yeah, because you're throwing to, like, glue. Like, you're throwing to some of the best hands in the NFL. So that's why I say Darnold's numbers are going to be inflated, but I do not think that he is going to be this star quarterback, like you said, after 7 years, which I didn't even know it was been 7 years. My gosh, I'm very surprised about that. I was thinking 4 for some reason, but I don't think he's just going to turn this new leaf and just all of a sudden be unlocked with even this star talent around him. He's going to do okay just from the circumstances he finds himself in.
I completely agree. I think you're right. And it might even start off with people being like, hey, I told you, look at Sam Darnold. And I'll say, okay,
I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
Yeah, get back to me after 17 games. Because I'm not saying he's not going to, he might be able to look good for 5-6 games. He's not going to be able to look like a legit NFL starter for 17 games. It's not happening. It is not happening.
You mean to tell me that Sam Darnold is going to come in and break the Vikings curse? That's who's gonna turn the Vikings organization around to Sam Darnold?
Well, I think being devil's advocate, he doesn't have to turn the Vikings organization around. For this segment, he just has to get them to 7 wins.
Sure. But I'm talking overall big picture here. It's like, because people are talking him up, like you said, like he's some kind of, second coming. Like, no, he's a below average quarterback. He is a guy that is going to have, better numbers than what his talent is.
Right.
Just because of the weapons around him. And he doesn't get this team over 7 wins. So
I agree. And even if you put him aside, there's a lot of holes elsewhere on this team. Like this,
yes,
this is a team that needs a lot of pieces. They need another offseason or 2. So I think you just got to try to survive the season, get to next year with J.J. McCarthy and see what he can do. I wouldn't be shocked because I think Kevin O'Connell is an excellent coach. I wouldn't be shocked if they won 7 games. That is possible. I think that is the absolute ceiling. If Sam Darnold is the quarterback and they win 8 games, I will gladly come on here and say, holy crap, I was wrong. I just don't think you can overcome him. No one's been able to do it. It's not going to magically change now.